Welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining. My name is Bertrand. I'm a senior sales manager with mediCAD, and welcome to the live demonstration. This demonstration will be basically about 3D hip. It is a cutting-edge digital solution designed for preoperative planning and hospital and clinic. Today, I will walk you through the key features of the platform and show you how it's simplified and optimized preoperative planning for hip total arthroplasty surgery. Again, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. You can come on the mic, you can talk. Although this demonstration is about 3D hip, if you have question about, for instance, knee, shoulder, or any other module to the web, I'll definitely can answer any question you have about implementations and so forth. I welcome any question and then also welcome engagements. Before I start with the demonstration of 3D hip, I'll just like to go over the company real quick. The company was founded in 1989, and we launched our first product, which basically was the 2D Hip Classic in 1999. And 2015, we launched the 3D solutions, and then also the web solution was launched in 2017. We also have the mediCAD mixed reality, which was launched in 2022. It includes a software and also a mixed reality headset, where you can use it in an operating room. It gives you access to the joint and the planning, the CT, and you can record live and so forth. There's a lot of amazing things you can do while you conducting the operation with the headset on. The company has over 80 employees worldwide. Headquarters is in Germany. We have an office in the US, and then also we have offices in other countries. The 2D Hip Classic software include hip, knee, long leg, trauma, upper extremities, shoulder, elbow, and so forth, foot, ankle. You can do osteotomy. You can do so many amazing things with the 2D Classic. It is on-premise. Also, we have it available cloud, which is the web base of it. The mediCAD 3D solution, orthopedic surgeon can analyze patient anatomy and plan surgery in ways not possible with the traditional 2D imaging. Complex cases can be addressed more effectively with personalized surgery plan tailored to each patient needs. The 3D software allows surgeons to simulate different surgical scenarios, helping to reduce stress, save time, and also minimize intraoperative risk. And then also create a document workflow to meet legal compliance standard. The 3D uses CT, basically the joint, and you'll see what that looks like once I get started. And 3D solution also include, 3D printing and so forth. That's in it. Now I can go ahead and just quickly give you a quick background of the company, just a little bit more information if you never, heard of mediCAD before. So this is mediCAD 3D premium solution. So this one is the 3D hip modules. So if you have the software, this is what you see. This is the main screen of the software. And what you see here is a list of CT images. Here you have file, you have start and help. With file, you can, create a new plan, load an existence plan that you already have in the system. Setting here is where your setting is, where you can configure a lot of things, right? And then some other thing you can have the software do for you automatically or do it manually. And then also set up your pack. The software is compatible with all pack systems, so you can have access to all your images, all your CTs from through the software and see everything. With help here, you're able to have the full access to the menu by clicking the menu, and then if you need help, remotely, you can team view and request remote help. And then also there's other services and information that's included here. So for this demonstration, I'm gonna use this case. Let's open it. The software right now is automatically segmenting the software. It's also removing the tables and denoise the CT. You can see that it uses the CT to create the joint. You can also, if you don't have it set up to do it automatically, you can denoise it here, and then also you can click remove table. You can do it automatically. The software will automatically do it or manually do it. You definitely able to take snapshot of your planning as you're doing it, like different angles, move the joint in different angle, zoom in, zoom out, and then take a snapshot of it, which will basically include in the plan. You can draw all the measurement, templating, and so forth. This case is basically, this is a patient that has a pertussive coxarthrosis on both side, I guess. And then also you can see that the femur is kind of like, is very thin, is very small. So require, a very specific or special storm that'll fit it, is very small. And you'll see that, I guess, once we get started. So I guess I'll just do a test on the left side. You can do quick total hip arthroplasty, quick revision. Quick total hip arthroplasty is just that it will do most of the landmark for you and the measurements for you. And then same thing too with revision. Expert total hip arthroplasty, it's just you manually doing everything yourself, right? You as an expert, you don't need the assistance of the computer. The assistance of the computer is really good, right? It's help you save a lot of time, actually, help you save a lot of time. And most of the time, most of the landmarks are very accurate. And also expert revision, templating, and 3D. So I'll start with the quick THA, and also that will give you a view on how fast it is. So the software right now is currently, doing its thing to calculate everything and then to add the landmarks and the measurements. Yeah, so the software is automatically adding the landmark, segmentations and so forth. Okay, so now that is done, the femur joint center, you can see that I added the landmark for you. The trochanter major, if you need to move it, you just have to right click on the red dot, and then you can move it to the proper position or wherever you think it'll be best, right? So you can go through all of them and then verify them to make sure that it's all correct. And just go quickly and then you view them. But again, most of the time it's not even necessary. But just to make sure that everything is accurate, you go through them and make the proper adjustment. So once you satisfy with everything, you verify it and so forth, you can go ahead and click accept to continue. Here again, it's basically same thing. We're gonna make you go through everything step by step instead of how I showed you just previously, but it just make you go through everything step by step. You can just click exit. And then now once that's done, you can see that the measurement is automatically added on the right hand side right here, right? And it shows you that the leg length difference is 13.9 millimeters and so forth. So now we're gonna go to expert total hip arthroplasty. And then as we go there, and then you can see everything is there. It still gives you a chance to do it automatically. If you click on auto, it will automatically do it for you. Like if you want to do cup joint center, you click on it. Now you have to do it manually. And then on the top where it says help, it shows you what you need to do. So for this, I'll just click auto just for time's sake. So, and then same thing too with the femur segmentation. You can do the femur segmentation manually or automatically. And for the formal neck axis, it's not auto. It has to do it manually. So you can click on it, but it's very simple. And and the anterior pelvic plane. If that's something you wanna measure, then you definitely can measure it. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can, move the image at any angle, 360-degree angle, so you can see everything properly and analyze everything properly. And you just have to basically move, you hold both right and left click to move the joint to a different positions or to a different place or up and down. And then if you use the left click of the mouse, and then you can use to change the angle and so forth. But for the, let me zoom out to do, okay. And the other one I want to do, the next step is normally you cut the femur. And once you cut the femur, you see that. Let me zoom. The CT, you can zoom in and zoom out. If you press Control and your keys in the computer, you can zoom in, zoom out. The same thing. If you hold both left and right, you can move the CT to different position. Whatever position you think that, a little bit, you're able to see much better. If you want to focus on a specific area in the joint, you just have to right click and then set focus, and then you can see the focus is on that particular area where you want to focus in. So the the femur has been cut. So now we can add our implant to do our templating. The software, our solution has over 600,000 templating. It is updated on a monthly basis automatically, right? If, for an example, you work within a company, probably every major joint or hip or templating company you can think of components is probably already in the database. But just in case if one is not in there that you work with, you just have to let us know, and then we let the product manager know, and they'll edit, right? Because we already have that relationship with almost all the companies already. So we work with over 130 manufacturers, and then again, we continue to add, like, new company comes all the time. So, as new company comes, so we continue to add more into our system. So the benefit of it is if you currently work with a larger company or a big hospital or, private, you like to work with, would like to have a variety. If you just want to work with one, is there. If you no longer work with a company and then you're now working with a new company, our software has that in there, so you can continue to work. You will not need to change your planning software to go with another company. So you just have to click new implant, and then since this is a special case, so I'm gonna use Lima. I believe Lima, Zimmer Bio has I been trying to research to find something that fit this at least decent. So Lima has it. Zimmer Bio, I believe, has that. But if you're familiar, I mean, you saw the image. If you know that there's another company that may have it, I mean, you definitely feel free to let me know. You can come on mic. And the cup size 44S is the smallest that they have. So you have your views on top. I mean, Intel, Paseo, Lado, Mido, when you click on them, and then the software will automatically go to that position. So it makes it easier for you. As you navigate, you can hide the pelvics, you can hide the femur, and so forth. And let me zoom on this a little bit. And you can use the angle, just that little symbol right here is to allow you to change the angle of the cup to put it in the proper position, whatever based on your expertise, whatever position you think that's, the best option based on the patient, based on what the situation is. So you can use that basically to move it to the proper angle. So once that done, you can go ahead and click new again to add the storm. PSL is the one that has, it has PLS has one that fit like, size one fit, and then the Zimmer Bio also have one that again that fit correctly. So let's see, and then let's change this to match the neutral liner. Zoom out a little bit. You can use the reposition term for the software to automatically reposition it for you, or you can manually reposition it. When you by selecting the stand of the storm, you can manually reposition it. So now that is highlighted, you can move it. And then also too, you can use the angle. Let me set my focus on it, and you can continue to explore different angle to see whether the component, the sternum, is sitting correctly in the center of the femur, and then to also see if it is the right side. If it is too big or too small, you can view it at different angle to see, whether the sternum itself, if it is too big, you will kind of see it, like let's say if I move it like right here. You see, you can kind of see the storm is oversized, meaning that it just seems like it's coming out. But so that gave you the right view. But based on your expertise, I mean, you can say, let me know if this is the right size. If you think this is, correct, or if I need something a little bit bigger, I think it's too small, will be too big, because I mean, will be too small. And then also too, once you position it, you see everything seems to be sitting properly. You can do the resection. You can see that the resection is done. Your hip length difference was 13.9. Now 7.7. The right side is also need to be done too, right? But for now, I'm just gonna do the left side. Just to give you an idea on how the software works and then the benefit of the software. So now we done our resection and everything, and you can go back to measurement, always be able to go back to measurement. You can, if you hit, if you put the cursor over the check mark, the green check mark, you can exit to remove that measurement, right? And then you can redo it over again if something was not done correctly, right? If you need to do more or the measurement, we also have the warm option, which is the simulation. If you click on it, it will allow you to start simulation. You can add speed or decrease the speed of the simulation. You can do the simulation without detection. The first one will detect, right? It will detect any inclinations or any problem or issues and stuff. So let's say flexion, maybe 15, and I'll do the start simulation, and computer will take a little bit of time. When it's with detection, it take a little bit of time for it to start. Without impingement detection, it start right away. Yeah, so you can simulate flexion, adduction, and rotation. And if you want to do a multi-simulation, you can click on the multi-simulation to do a multi-simulation. You can see that the software does the simulation. Let me zoom out. Stop. Okay. Let me do maybe 90-degree. So far, no impingement. But if you want me to put a higher degree, or please feel free to let me know. Without, let's say 90, without detection, let's do a rotation of 15. Negative 15. So yeah, so the software allow you to simulate, and it will detect impingement if it is not done correctly. So at least you'll know that, okay, if the patient, once the surgery is done, if the patient flex at a certain degree, there might be an impingement, right? So at least already here you can simulate it, analyze it, and then to make sure that you use your expertise and so forth. So this is the 3D hip total arthroplasty with mediCAD. I don't know, maybe let me go back and then find another case. This one was, a very special one. Let's see this. No, let me quickly show you what the 2D looks like. Even I understand this is about 3D, but I don't know if anyone here might be wondering what does the 3D looks like. So let me quickly show you that instead, what the 2D looks like. So so you'll get you'll see the difference between 2D and 3D. This is the 2D, that's the marketplace. With the 3D, you can do simulation. You can see the patient anatomy, the joint, and 360-degree. You can analyze it much better. You can zoom in, zoom out at any angle, and so forth. You can see the component much better inside the femur or inside the joint. You can analyze the acetabular much better. You can analyze anything within the joint much better, right? And so it gives you a much better understanding into the patient joint anatomy. For 2D, same thing, there's auto and there's also manual. And then also you have the ability to do all these other things, right? The same way with the 3D. But just so you can see the difference between the two. We'll do an auto planning. Same thing. This is also compatible with an impact system. And you can see that there's more icon on the toolbar. So there's more thing you can do. I like the 3D because it's simpler, and then also it's much faster. So let me go back, load the demo. Well, not loading the demo. Same thing, the software automatically calibrate the image with 2D in it for it to do to automatically calibrate the image. It has to have a scaling spear. If it has a scaling spear, it will automatically calibrate the image, right? And then it takes about 5 seconds, and you just have to click apply. If it does not have a scaling spear, there's the scaling spear ball in there, you can do it by line, by 3-point, by circle, or by magnifying factor. With the 2D, you are able to increase the brightness or decrease the brightness. Like this image is too dark, so you can increase the brightness, and then also the contrast of it. You can increase and decrease the contrast of it, right? So that way, you're able to see the joint much better. Because a lot of the time, you get a CT, the CT is so dark, or a certain part of the image is so dark, you barely can see the image. You can barely can see the image. Another feature that it has, if I go to my imaging tool, and also stitching, the both 2D and 3D, you are able to do stitching. With 2D, you can stitch images manually. With 3D, images can be stitching automatically. So on the 3D software, if you need both the pelvics and the full knee long leg, if you have the 2CT, it will automatically stitch it for you. So there's a stitching tool on both software, which is that include with the software when you buy the software free of use. It's just a feature of it. But imaging tool, if you go on the imaging tool, let's say you can increase the opacity. Is that an AP? Yeah, that's an AP. Not detecting it. Go back. So hip autoplane, it will just same thing, automatically detect all the landmarks for you and conduct some of the measurement. You just have to select what side of the anatomy you want to do. You click the left side or the right side, the software will automatically detect the landmark for you. And as you can see, the software does. But again, you have the ability or the option to make adjustment based on your expertise by moving some of the landmarks, because the software, based on the image, it may not have detected properly. And then so some of the landmark may not be in the proper place. So you can manually adjust it as I'm doing right here. And then once you adjust it, you are satisfied with the landmarks and so forth. You just have to right click and the software will automatically, again, add the measurement for you, insert the storm. You can, if you only like, for instance, you work with two manufacturer or three manufacturer, you can create a favorite list and then add it to your favorite list. So that way you don't see all these manufacturers. So we have the top that's there, but there's more. So if you want to, if whatever you don't see here, you can search. You can search, you just type the name of the company and then you're able to see it there. But let me choose another one I'm familiar with. So like you can see, you choose the cup, you can move the cup to proper position. You can use this. This is the angle function here. You can use it. You can use your keypads, the arrows to also for the angle itself to change the angle and so forth to make sure that it's a proper angle. Again, you choose the size, the type, and so forth. Then once you have the correct one, you just have to right click and then the software automatically add a storm for you. It's not the same brand, so let's make sure that it's the same one. If it is from your favorite, it will definitely add the same brand. But if it is from all the lists, the software just automatically pick one from all the manufacturers. So let's see this side. Again, you can move it to the proper position, the angle, and so forth. You can change. So with the 2D, as you can see, is you just see a 2D image, but the body is three-dimensional. So the 3D give you a three-dimensional view of the bone itself. So your expert view or whatever final decision you made will be based on this image, but certain things that you're not able to see, like on a 3D here, if I can do this, I can see the acetabular much better. I can see the femur head much better. I can see the greater trochanter much better. I can see the femur itself much better. I can see everything much better and to be able to plan better than I do and the 2D images. But you see how fast it does it on both, and both options give you the ability. Once you're done here, you click finish, and you can go to expert mode, And in export mode here, give you more options. So there's more measurement that can be done. You can also use the menu measurement here to get more measurements, and you can add, you can do resections and so forth, reposition the sternum. I mean, there's so much you can do. You can add screws, and then also the plan information you can add here, patient information, surgeon information you can add here. You just have to click on planning information. You add the name of the physician. The physician had his or her name, and then the patient his or her information you add here, which will be showing here. Also, it will be showing on the plan itself. So when you click, the plan can automatically save on your PAC system if it is already configured with the PAC system, and also the plan can be exported to your computer directly. So the plan report will have the patient information, the physician information, is going to have an image of the X-ray with the components, with measurements, the cup information, which this information anyway, your assistant surgeon can use this information to prepare for the surgery. So the moment you're done is sent to the pack, or you send it to your assistant and say, hey, get the surgery ready. They already know, okay, I need to get, I know exactly what when to get. I know exactly the type. I know exactly the size to get. So now I know exactly all the tools that I need to get to prepare for this, right? And then all the measurements is there on the plan. And then same thing too for the 3D. Let me quickly do, and so I can quickly show you so you see what it looks like. It's same thing too for the 3D with the plan. It shows exactly the same thing. And then any screenshot that you take will also be included in the plan. I select rep. This is the white. Wait till it's done. Sorry, I need to exit. I select the wrong side of the anatomy. This one was a white side. Cancel. Let me stop sharing and reshare the other screen because I'm not sure what you're seeing. I want to make sure you see the right screen. Okay, so oh, this is shoulder. And the more you get used to using the functionality of the software, the easier it is for you to do planning, right? So once you are used to it, which is, it doesn't really take much time to get used to it. It will literally take you 2 minutes, sometimes even less, 3 minutes, depending on how complex or depending on how much measurement you need, right? And so forth. But it does save you a lot of time. You'll be able to do more total hip arthroplasty because it saves you a lot of time into your planning. I know a lot of time when I talk to a lot of surgeon, some of them say they're not using any planning, or they're using something basic to do their planning. So they tell me, it can take them, from whether 5, 10, 20 minutes, or even half an hour or more, sometime depending on what they're currently using. So I'm gonna do everything very fast just so I can show you what the plan looks like. And I mean, other company that's out there, I mean, even if you can do 3D planning, but most of the time you're not able to do revision, our software allows you to do revision, right? And there's other measurement that our software include, other technology don't do not include that. And then we have almost all the module, also spine. If you do spine surgery, we also have the module in 3D for spines also too. And the number, as I mentioned, the number of manufacturers that we work with and the number of template that's on our database, other, well, I don't think any other company has that, because we've been in the business for the longest. And our sole focus, our main product is preoperative planning, postoperative planning. So that's our sole focus. Because a lot of time, I know some of you, when you have access to planning, it is something that's included with the templating company that you work with or your pack company, which normally they're including something basics that's in there, just to gain your business. But for mediCAD, this is our business. Planning is our business, right? So we work with expert surgeon to make sure that what we're doing and everything is based on expertise. So now that that is done, I can click again. This can I'm not gonna add the storm. It's just so you can see. You just have to click export. You can export it to CSV, XML, or text to be able to export the plan. Or you click here, export to the operation room, print or export. You just click to print or export. Also, you can export it if you have mixed reality. It will export this plan to the mixed reality software, and then from the mixed reality software to the headset. So with the headset you use in the operation room. So for now it's just export print so you can see what the plan look like. Again, same thing. Patient information, surgeon information at the beginning of the plan. Here you can type that information here, so that can be included into who work in this plan, especially if you work in a clinic or hospital. There's a lot of surgeons, so exactly what this plan with surgeon that works in this plan. Again, image of the pelvics with some informations and so forth. It's included in there, and then the information for the cup is included in there, and some of the measurement is included in there. Normally it has more informations and so forth, but since I only do it so you can see what the plane look like on this one versus the other one. And that's concluded my presentation the for hip 3D. If you have any questions, as I mentioned from the beginning, if something else that you wanted to see, please feel free to ask. Now is the time. If you would like to have a more personal demonstration, you can share your emails. I'm gonna put my contact information here directly, so you have my contact information. To do a test case, well, if you want a free trial or you want to do a test case, let me provide you my contact information, or you can provide me your contact information, and then we can set it up. What kind of CT do you need? Let me see. Good position, very helpful. Thank you. I think it's just a standard CT. It's just a standard CT works. It's just CT. Well, if it is a CT file, it will open X-ray file, but the X-ray won't be in 3D, but CT only. Yeah, no special protocol for the CT. It's just any CT file. Yeah, no special file. It's not well, it doesn't work with DICOM or MRI, because the software is focused on planning, because MRI basically focus on ligaments, and other things. But CT is mainly the bones, which basically that's for templating. So that's what our focus is. So that's why CT is mainly what is compatible with it. So I added my contact information, my email, phone number, and so you can save that. You can email me personally, but and then in a private chat, then I'll be able to save that information. Again, if you would like to see a personal demonstration where you're able to ask a question and see a bit more and get a little bit more understanding, you definitely can reach out, and I'm happy to provide a personal demonstration. If you like to see knee osteotomy, torsions, spine, shoulder, and 3D, definitely. If you like to see more in-depth demonstration in 2D or web, definitely reach out to me, and I'll definitely be able to provide you how our service, how the software work in terms of pack, in terms of pricing, how that works, number of location, you know, number of users and so forth. You want to get that kind of understanding, definitely reach out. So if there's no more question, then that will conclude the live demonstration of the webinar. Thank you everyone for your patience and participation. Again, reach out if you have any question. I hope everybody have a great week. Thank you.